Good morning everyone and welcome to another episode with Thai Talk with Dan. Now, we've got a cracking story for you today from a retired policeman from the United States, from a very big city in the United States. He didn't mention which one. And he wanted to share his experience that he had with a Thai girl and how it is all fantasy, make-believe. So, it's a very good story in a way where it teaches everybody a very valuable lesson. So guys, I'm not going to waffle on too much. I'm going to jump straight in to this story and I hope you enjoy it today. Hi Dan, I am a member of your channel and you may recognise my user handle El Nino. One of your listeners responded to a comment I wrote today and I replied back to his message, and then he got me thinking. So let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm a retired policeman from a big city in the United States. I've lived in Thailand for 7 years now, 25 minutes outside of Pattaya. But I've been coming to Thailand 3 times a year since 1988, 34 years. So I've seen and done a few things. That's why in all my comments I always say, never break the 2 rule. Now, have I myself committed this sin? Of course I have. So don't worry gents, you're in good company. A man should never have regrets in life about making mistakes as long as you learn from them. Now this story isn't really about mistakes. It's about lessons learned though. Takes place during my first and second visit to Thailand in 1988-89 in Bangkok. I met this girl in Pat Pong at the Pink Panther Go-Go Bar. It's still there actually. I was 23 and she was maybe 20. I may have been one of the first guys to ever say this stupid statement about a bar girl, but she's different. I am literally laughing out loud as I wrote that. If I had 20 baht every time I heard a guy say she's different about a bar girl, I'd be rich. But what can I say about this girl? Is she was new to the game and that I could tell. And so was I. From what I remember, she really wasn't working at the Pink Panther yet, but was trying to. She was truly beautiful and had the most amazing eyes. So they put her at the front door as a hang-around, but not for long. Because I took her out after paying the bar fine, of course, and had the ultimate girlfriend experience, if only for one night. We went from bar to bar, holding hands, drinking cocktails, having a great time, and this girl just hit it off. We both had so much fun, laughing and drinking, and she seemed to get my sense of humour. We just clicked. Yes, I had a true connection with a bar girl. We ended up back at my hotel, of course, and everything else that night was just amazing. Man, was I into this chick. Did I find my soulmate? At 23, I thought maybe, and because I was 23, I was able to smash all night long with this girl.
Smash you.
It was just one of those amazing nights in Bangkok. Unfortunately, I was booked on a flight to Phuket the next morning, and I had to say goodbye to my new soulmate. It was slightly tearful, and I was definitely depressed all day. Now I have to remind you of this, is before emails, internet, or anything else like that, so there was really no way for us to keep in touch. So when we said goodbye, it was goodbye.
But you know what you need to do. The world needs you.
Phuket was a blast. although I couldn't get the Bangkok girl out of my mind. I spent the next 10 days there and was trying to smash every girl I came across and was successful for the most part.
Ash you.
But soon, my vacation came to an end and I'd be back to the States and back to work. So like most guys that get the Thailand bug, I was planning my next trip back. I spent the next year reliving all the memories, looking at all the photos and telling my friends and anyone else who would listen to my stories about how amazing and awesome Thailand was, and of course about that girl. I even had a framed photo of her on my desk, and I would think about her often, wondering where she's at and what she's doing at that exact moment. I had put her on a pedestal in my mind. So let's fast forward 1 year, exactly November 1989, and I have another 2-week vacation. So I'm back in Bangkok, Sukhumvit Soi 15, the Miami Hotel. I can write a whole story about that place. My first night back, I just hung close to the hotel, drinking beers on the street with random girls, freelancers, but they weren't called that then. I ended up going back to my hotel with 2 girls that night, just because we all got drunk and I had a great time, but because I was in Bangkok, I just kept thinking about that girl, almost feeling guilty as if I should be looking for her. Why am I wasting my time with these 2 chicks when I could be with the amazing girl, but where? There was really no way to contact her. I could go back to the Pink Panther, but I doubt she'd still be working there. So the next night, that's exactly what I did, but I came prepared. I brought a picture of her with me to Pat Pong. I really didn't remember where the Pink Panther bar was, so I just started wandering around Pat Pong, showing her photo to the doormen at random clubs. A few of the guys said yeah, they seen her around, but just didn't know where. If you know Thais and if you're showing a photo, it really attracts attention and everyone wants to come and look. Then this one guy goes, yeah, I know her, takes the photo and runs off. I was very confused. What's going on? Is she coming? Am I even really ready to meet this girl again? Lots of what ifs. Then all of a sudden, the guy comes back with my girl. I couldn't believe this. It was a dream come true. I was so happy to see her. It was a big shock. I don't think I'd ever see her again. Big hugs. Was she as happy to see me? Once she remembered, and that took a minute, but not as happy as I was. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Motherfucker.
So I tried to repeat that first night we had together the year before. We were holding hands, kissing a little, bar hopping, eating, drinking and being merry. At least I was. But you know what? It just wasn't the same. I tried to recreate that perfect night we had a year earlier, and that was just an impossible thing to do because the magic was gone. I imagine working in a Pat Pong bar for 1 year can harden a girl, but I still tried. We ended the night back at my hotel, and it was very unremarkable. The chemistry and connection we had the year earlier just wasn't there, and because I was a young man, I couldn't understand why. I was so excited to be with her, and all she wanted to do was sleep. I wanted to go to Koreatown for lunch the next day, and I wanted her to come with me, but all she wanted to do was sleep. So I went by myself and had some beef and beers for lunch, sat in the restaurant and brewed. I then decided this girl must go. I can't spend the next 2 weeks like this. spending time with the girl of my dreams and being heartbroken the entire time because she's not the same girl I imagined she was. So I made an excuse that there was an emergency and I had to leave immediately to meet a friend. Now, pretty lame excuse, but it was the best that I could do at the time. I gave her a generous amount of money, so I thought she didn't seem really happy with it, but took it and left, never saying a word. I wish I never found her again. I mean, the time we had when we first met was amazing, and it probably couldn't have gotten better, so why did I try? I had my memories of her. That should have been enough. Thomas Wolfe wrote, "You can never go home again." The lesson here is most encounters with these girls are just pure fantasy. They're not real world experiences. So just go with it and don't try to attach yourself to anything that's not real. Do not get involved in impossible relationships with these girls. Just keep moving forward and having positive experiences. Have fun and use your head. And remember, never break the 2 rule. Thanks, El Nino. So thanks very much for sending your story in. We've been getting stories from bar owners in Pattaya, Marines, retired policemen. We're getting it all on this channel. Now, I really enjoyed this story because I know that a lot of people are going to be able to relate to his story, where they met a girl and it was an amazing time, an amazing experience, and then later on down the line the girl radically changed and it just wasn't the same as before. Now, when the girl is new to the bar scene or new to the freelancer scene, then at the beginning I can imagine that they're so sweet and innocent and naive and nice and compassionate, and they're just a whole different person. But then once a year goes by, being with so many different men and getting involved with other bar girls and listening to the stories, and then starting to evolve as a bar girl and starting to scam men and generate as much money as possible, they really do change. And I can imagine how cold-hearted that they can get along their bar girl freelancer journey. So in this video, I think there is an important message that a lot of men do need to hear, and that it is purely fantasy. You're paying these girls to be nice, to show you an amazing time, and in return, they get your money. And it shouldn't go any further than that. But as we all know from listening to the stories on my channel and probably watching other YouTube channels, men always want to keep that fantasy as real as possible, and they decide to start dating them and throwing money at them, and they try to naively lie to themselves and basically state that it's something real and it's something true, and it's not simply a business transaction. At the end of the day, you are a customer that's paying for that girl to be with you. The only way you can have anything real here in Thailand is if you're not paying the girl. Yeah, you can do what you do back home and you can pay for a meal, you know. You can pay for a holiday, pay for a trip, normal things that you do with a girl back home. But once you start giving them a salary or large amounts of money, then they're obviously going to be nice to you and treat you in a different way altogether. So guys, you've got to bear that in mind. Enjoy the fantasy, but don't try to turn it into a reality. Right guys, thanks for watching. If you've got a story that you wish to share on the channel, then please email thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.